We start with the two sticks of the hexagram, one full and one broken. We make a cross and we duplicate cross 3 times. Now we have one of the faces 64 tetrahedral grid. Now we duplicate the geometry 4 times. And then we fold each of the edges at 90 degrees. And we add the bottom. Now we have all the sticks necessary to produce the 64 tetrahedral grid on the outside surfaces. Now we duplicate the geometry one more time, and we've obtained the bottom part of a 512 tetrahedron grid. We doubled. And now we have 512 tetrahedron grid made out of 384 sticks, or 64 hexagram multiplied by 6. Note that the internal vectors of the vector equilibrium are now present. This way of building the tetrahedral grid from the cubic perspective is very much found in the Chinese tradition. From the compass, the ancient Chinese compass, to the trigram, which is found on the compass, and as well is represented typically as octagon trigram structure. It's as well that square or cubic approach is found in the Ching coins, where the center of the coin is a square. All this indicating that the square perspective is the way the I Ching should be treated, and as you do, as we saw, you obtain the tetrahedral grid, in this case the 512. This geometry, this cubic perspective of the tetrahedral grid, is typically associated with ancient Chinese art and devices. For instance, this ancient compass, where the trigram is inscribed on this very specific tetrahedral geometry viewed from the cubic perspective. Notice how well the trigram precisely aligns to the tetrahedral geometry, exactly at the boundary condition of the trigram. This geometry is found in many other cultures, such as the Sumerian traditions and these later Babylonian plates. These plates represent a very specific vision of the space, a progression of geometry which eventually leads to this specific cubic geometry which is a representation of a 64 tetrahedron grid surface. The overlay shows that all lines are present to produce a 64 tetrahedron grid.